Hey guys, this is Christian with MBS Fitness. We're going to talk about external rotation today. What is it and how do you do it? Why you do it? When you do it? And some cues people misinterpret when they hear knees out when it really is meaning external rotation. So what is external rotation? External rotation is a ball and socket joint that is rotating away from the midline of the body. The number one question I get when I give the cue to externally rotate is, how do you do that? So for the purposes of a squat and a deadlift, to externally rotate, you are going to plant your foot solid on the ground and you are going to squeeze your glute and twist your leg into the floor like a screwdriver. What that's going to do is it's going to cause your knee to twist towards the outside, and it is going to fire your glute and your hamstring a little bit more than usual. So why do we need to externally rotate? One of the reasons we externally rotate is, especially in a squat, when we go down into a squat position, if we don't externally rotate, our femur is going to be pushed up into that ball and socket joint in our hip. You have a lot of bony structures on the surface of that femur. So when we externally rotate, it moves those bony structures out of the way and it creates space in our hips so that we can get lower. The number two reason that we externally rotate is it's going to allow us to recruit more muscle from our glutes and our hamstring. And everyone knows the more muscle that you can recruit, you can then move more weight, and everybody wants to be able to move more weight. When do we externally rotate? The proper times to externally rotate on a squat are really going to be right when you stand up with the bar. For the sake of powerlifting and using a monolift, I'll use that as an example. You're going to get set up in your stance underneath the bar in a monolift. Remember, we don't have to walk out when we use a monolift. So once you're in your proper stance, you want to externally rotate, squeeze your glutes, and twist into the floor like a screwdriver to stand up with the weight. That is going to make you use the most amount of musculature to stabilize yourself and to lift up the weight. This is also going to put you in the most optimal position to begin your squat. Now, while you squat, you are going to externally rotate throughout the whole movement. You never want to stop externally rotating, which I see a lot of people failing to do. You want to externally rotate and twist out during the eccentric portion of the squat, and even more so on the concentric portion of the squat going up, so that we are consistently using the most amount of muscle so that we can get back up as fast as possible. So one of the main cues that I always find people misinterpreting, especially during a squat, is knees out. When someone is yelling at a lifter to twist their knees out, they don't just want the lifter to push their knees out. They want this lifter to externally rotate from the hip. As you can see, if I have my foot planted on the floor and I externally rotate, my knee is going to track out. So the next time you hear someone yelling at you to twist your knees out or knees out, they're really wanting you to externally rotate from the hip and twist your whole leg into the ground like a screwdriver so that you have more musculature to stand up while you're in the middle of a squat. For more tips and information, check out nbsfitness.net.